Hi everyone, I'm the Gnome, and welcome to the very last Walking Dead blog for Series 3. The last episode was on last night, but I was having a few beers, which is why you're getting it this morning. And what an episode it is. No, it genuinely was an episode. Well, that's a lie. It's basically half an episode where things happen, and then half an episode where nothing really happens. So the opening scene with the governor was excellent. David Morrissey doing his very best with the now moustache-twirling villain that the governor has become. He's doing his best to kind of ground the character, but the writers are insistent on turning him into a kind of villain. So that's not really ideal, but he's doing his very best. They also tried to put some reasoning in as to why he's went super wacky over the last kind of 6 or 7 episodes. In that, he believes that if he was tougher, his daughter would still be alive. But let's not forget, she was already a walking corpse when we first met her. So for me, that plot point didn't really ring true. Basically because I think for it to ring true, the prison lot should have actually caused her to die in the first place. I think that would have been a bit more realistic. That would give them the more reasoning to hate and absolutely despise the prison group. Because what we don't ever get to see is how broken he was when she passed the first time. And he seemed quite happy with her just running around as a little zombie. Never really seemed kind of that nasty. Nor did we ever get to see what happened to the person who caused her to die. I think had we had that, had we shown what his rage was like at the time, I think it would have felt a bit more true kind of now. So, in kind of my rewriting of Series 3, either we found that out or the prison lot accidentally caused her to get bit, but then still have Michonne put her out of misery. But for me, it didn't really feel right that he lost his mind over the second death, because we didn't really get to see what he was like after the first. It was a slaughter, or so one of the characters said. The would-be lot decide to tool up and attack the prison, find no one, and then get ambushed by Glenn and Maggie. And they kill nobody. In a perfect example of Stormtrooper shooting, everyone missed everyone else. And the weird thing is, it was only Glenn and Maggie shooting. Where was Rick? Where was Daryl? Where was Michonne? We genuinely don't know, because they were not involved in that scene in any way, shape or form. We got to see Herschel and Carl hiding in the woods, keeping the little baby safe. But we didn't actually get to see the main character in this, which seemed a really weird decision. And yes, it was only Glenn and Maggie, because they're the only ones with the prison uniforms on. When everyone got together from wherever the other characters were hiding, you get to see that everyone else was in their normal clothes apart from Glenn and Maggie. So that was a really weird choice. I can only assume on the day of shooting, everybody was ill, and they couldn't push it back any further. Also, where did they get the yellow highlighter from for the Bible? The Milton and Andrea scenes were okay, but I wonder if anyone else was just urging them to stop talking and actually focus on getting out. There was a number of times where Andrea just sat agape whilst Milton was talking. Come on, let's see some urgency. You probably could have got out of that. And Andrea is gone. Excellent. The series has tried to place her between the conflict. Oh, I forgot shit. Stick with what's written. Andrea is gone. Happy days. The series has tried to place her at the centre of the conflict between Rick and the governor, but she's just not been written well enough or consistent enough for anyone to care. So when she dies, there's a cheer in this household. Admittedly, it was just me watching, but I'm going to say I did cheer. The kind of last minute retcon of I wanted to save everyone, again, didn't really ring true, as it seemed as though it was pulled kind of at the last minute to try and make her death all the more emotional. But the way that the character's been written, the way that she's been acting, especially this series and previous series, it kind of felt a bit hollow. So it seems a complete waste of a character in the books. She's an ace marksman. She's absolutely badass. She's really interesting. And this, they've just made her just kind of a wandering kind of woman, a bit wet, just kind of running from side to side and not really making it clear what she wanted. So that kind of end monologue didn't really do anything for me. And then after the attack, nothing happens. The rest of the would-be crew get taken to the prison. Why? Let's be clear here now, the prison has got broken gates, no guard towers, and a massive hole in the back, which they still haven't fixed. But Rick and the team decide it's better for everyone to be there. Really? How about moving to Woodbury? It's got houses, it's got gardens, it's already secure and has been for a good number of months. And it looks like it's got more space, and that's where people belong. That's where people have, that's where the home is. If you think it took an entire bus load to get the Woodbury lot to the prison, and there's what, 8 people at the prison, maybe it's more sensible going to Woodbury. So that seemed a little weird. Again, didn't really ring true. What I will say that has rang true is that Carl has turned into a little cold killer. Shoot a child in the face, and has been very much against the kind of Woodbury team joining. Does make me wonder, though, if it wasn't for the zombie apocalypse, would he be as much as a little prick? But I am enjoying it. His arc from scared little kid everyone was worried about to total steel-eyed badass has been interesting. It hasn't been sudden. It has been building up. When he shot Shane in the end of Series 2, that kind of showed he was kind of moving towards that cold, tough, built for the new zombie generation kind of character. So that has been interesting. What I'm probably not looking forward to is next series where they try and humanise him again, maybe with a love interest. But at this point, he's went through the stages, and now he just wants to protect his team and will do whatever it takes. And that has been good. The Governor disappears with Martinez and the other dude, but it won't be for long as David Morrissey has signed a new deal to appear in Series 4, which is great because he's a phenomenal actor. So we'll be interested to see his return. I did get a little bit of a kind of Darth Vader vibe, where he just, at the end of Star Wars A New Hope, where he just spirals off and then just disappears, and we really just don't get a hear from him at that point. So the last thing I'll do, I'll have a look at the predictions I made on the 19th of March 2013. So I made 5 predictions. Let's see how I did. So prediction number 1, Andrea is going to die. Yes, take that in the win column. I did predict that. Although I did predict was that the Governor was going to kill her. So not quite right for that. Prediction number 2, Merle will die. Again, boom, we'll take that for the win. Although I did predict that Michonne was going to be the one to kill him. And it actually just turns out he got zombie to death. Oh, he got shot by the Governor, sorry. Number 3, Daryl and Martinez were going to have a kind of face-off. Although that didn't happen because Daryl went missing during the Woodbury attack. Don't know where he was, chilling with Rick. Number 4, I thought that we'd see the culmination of Rick versus the Governor in a kind of one-on-one shootout in which Rick just quick draws and shoots the Governor in the face. And we didn't get to see that, linked to point number 3, because he just went missing. It's like, oh, see you later, I'll just trust Glenn and Maggie. Or probably 2 worst shots, but they'll be fine, we're just going to hide somewhere. And the last one, I predicted that one of Herschel's daughters will die, and probably Carol. And nobody died from the Woodbury team, the prison team, which seemed a little bit weird. We had lots of deaths on the Woodbury lot, but that was more the Governor just going chicken oriental and shooting everyone. Nobody decides to shoot back, which seems a little bit weird. I think he shoots, what, 20 men? I like to think if I was number 17 or 18, I'd be thinking, yeah, maybe it's worth a couple of shots at the Governor. Maybe I might survive. So overall, not a very good ending to the series, to be honest. Since the break, it's not been very good. One standout episode where they go to St. Morgan, fantastic. But since then, the episodes have been a bit weak sauce. It felt like it was building up to something, and then just ended with a whimper. Hopefully, Series 4, they get to keep the same showrunner for the whole series. There's no kind of internal conflict, which feels like is what happened in this one. Because it really feels like we were building up to something, and then maybe they had to do some late kind of reshoots. And maybe that's why kind of Rick, Daryl, Michonne weren't there in the battle scenes. They had been written in elsewhere, but with the decision to offer new contracts to characters like David Morrissey, they thought, right, we're going to have to cut those scenes, and maybe people won't notice they've not been involved. Unfortunately, I have noticed. So cheers everyone for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting, and I will see you next time for the next Game of Thrones podcast. So cheers, good night.